render my praise to Graven Images.
So you need to stop giving your praise to these graven images, because guess what? Each one of these holidays, they represent a graven image. You can choose one. Even Martin Luther King Day. If you celebrate Martin Luther King Day, guess what? Martin Luther King is your graven image. America has taught you to idolize Martin Luther King.
That's right.
In his dream. And the whole hands with white people. And whole hands with the Chinese man. And guess what? They ain't doing nothing but exploit you. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. And greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the 4 corners of the globe.
That's right.
And we are out here today, here in Wilmington, Delaware, to wake you up to your true nationality, and to show you that you were in folly today. Because the so-called black man, Hispanic man, you have just celebrated New Year's in the middle of the winter. There ain't nothing new about this year. Give me Exodus verse 1 and 2. And give me Exodus 23:15. We out here to show you that you were following. You know what's wrong with that? Your pastor should have showed you that you were following. Your pastor should have been in their congregation the other day at night watch service when y'all was bringing in the so-called New Year in the middle of winter, 12 o'clock. Your pastor should have been breaking down to you Exodus 20 and showing you that the New Year is not in the middle of winter. Give me what you got.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 1.
Come on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
So the Most High gave the law to Moses and Aaron, and he told them that this month should be unto you the beginning of months. And guess what? This month was not January 1st. This month was not in the middle of winter. We're going to show you what that month was. Give me what you got.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 15.
Bring it up.
Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread.
So the beginning of the month was at the feast of unleavened bread, around the Passover.
Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee in the time appointed of the month Abib.
The month what?
Abib.
So this month Abib in the Hebrew it means green ears of corn. Right now, if you look around you, there is no green ears of corn growing anywhere throughout the United States of America. So guess what? This is not the beginning of months according to the Most High. But guess what? You're in folly right now. You're in folly because you've been giving worship to another God. Your church pastor did not rebuke you or educate you or edify you that you were in folly by giving worship to another God. And we're going to show you that today. Give me 1 Corinthians 3:19. You were giving worship to another God by the name of Janus. Janus is the God of future past. He is a two-headed God, but rather yet he is a demon. So when you were in your night watch service the other day, you were giving tribute to a demon by the name of Janus.
That's right. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19.
Come on.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
So the wisdom of this world is nonsense. Celebrating New Year's in the middle of the winter is nonsense. Bringing in your New Year in the middle of the winter is nonsense. And foolishness, thus said the Lord. You have no business celebrating the so-called white man's Roman New Year in the middle of winter. That is straight up folly.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 8, chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the name of the Most High, and to think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and the dividing of time.
So as you can see, the so-called white man has decided to change the New Year to the middle of winter. And right now he's worrying out the saints. The saints out here, and we giving you the word of the Most High, and we let you know that you're the greatest people on planet Earth. And that you should repent and go back to his laws.
That's right.
That you should not be keeping Christmas, New Year, Easter, Valentine's Day, Martin Luther King Day, You shouldn't be keeping any of those days. Because the white man gave you those times. But the Most High gave you holy days.
That's right.
He gave you set apart days. He made you holy so that you keep the holy days. You should have been keeping Hanukkah a couple weeks ago. The Feast of Dedication. When the Maccabees put the beating on the so-called white man and took back Solomon's temple.
That's right.
That's what you should have been celebrating. But guess what? The so-called white man ain't let you know that because it was one of the greatest slave rebellions that ever took place.
That's right.
And we took back what was ours. And guess what? We're going to take back the kingdom which is ours by force.
That's right.
That's right.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 1. All wisdom cometh from the Lord.
No wisdom coming from the white man.
All wisdom cometh from the Lord.
No wisdom coming from Dr. Fauci.
All wisdom cometh from the Lord.
No wisdom coming from Joe Biden.
All wisdom cometh from the Lord.
So what you should do is you should pick up this Bible. You should study to show yourself approved. You should sit down with your brothers and get the wisdom from the Most High that He has bestowed upon you.
That's right.
The Most High has gave you the blueprint right here.
That's
and
right.
it ain't doing nothing but sitting on your counter and it's collecting dust.
That's right.
That's
You
right.
ain't learning the best knowledge you can learn. The Bible is the so-called black and Hispanic man's history, and you are neglecting to go into this book.
That's right.
You know what they say? If you want to hide something from a so-called Negro, you put it in a book.
That's
Well,
right.
this book is about you. This book is about how great you are, how great your ancestors are,
That's
how
right.
great you are to become, and how you should go back to the true majesty of how you should be.
That's right.
Give me that.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 20. But I say, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice the devil.
So when you celebrate New Year's in the middle of winter, giving praise to the false god Janus, because that's what you're doing, giving praise to the false god Janus, you're really in the midst of devil worship.
That's right.
You're in the straight up Satanism. When you celebrate Christmas, when you celebrate Valentine's Day, because that's what you're about to do when February come up. You're about to be in folly and celebrate Valentine's Day, sacrificing to the devil Cupid, which is just another form of Nimrod, just like you was praying to Nimrod, bowing down to your Christmas tree, picking up gifts.
That's right.
Teaching your children. You pick up gifts from the Nimrod tree, bowing down to devils.
God.
But you know what? It's time for you to come out. No! It's time for you to stop being involved with a whole bunch of foolishness and worship the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shah. It's time to learn who you are. It's time to stop turning your sisters into whores, and it's time for you to stop killing your brothers. But you know why you under these curses? Because you don't want to go back to the Most High's laws.
That's
You
right.
don't want to keep the appointed days that were given unto you by the Most High. And you know what? You're in folly, so it's time to wake up.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness,
No, go back into the church and have night watch ceremonies.
but have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness,
No, go to the tree lighting ceremony because it's just for the kids.
and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness,
No, buy your woman chocolates on Valentine's Day.
and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
So the Most High said don't have any fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. If you're celebrating these folly days, you are in the midst of darkness.
That's right.
You're in the midst of folly and foolishness.
That's
and
right.
it's time to come out and step into the light, which is your majesty of this word.
That's right.
That's right.
But rather reprove them.
And that's what we setting out to do. We reproving New Year's in the middle of winter.
That's
Because
right.
the New Year is not in the middle of winter. You are straight up in foolishness if you think that the New Year is in the middle of winter and ain't nothing growing, ain't nothing new.
That's
Ain't
right.
nothing new but the snow on the ground and the ice. Ain't nothing new.
God.
the book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
And that's what we out here to do. We're here to stand up against the evildoers. Because your denomination of Christianity has taught you to follow behind these folly days. Islam has taught you to follow behind this folly. To go and pray to a cube. To pray to the cube of Saturn. To give your worship to another God. And we standing up to you in the midst of darkness and telling you to repent. To go back to the ways of the Most High. To be the best people that you can be. To put your faith in God and not take a vaccine. Because if you take this vaccine, it shows that you got a little faith in God. When the Most High has the power to kill. The Most High kills and makes alive.
That's right.
No other. So how weak is your faith? It's time for you to repent.
That's right. The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 8. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another.
So when you celebrate New Year's in the middle of winter, you're giving your glory to another God. And the Most High said he will not share his glory with another God. But yet your pastors are neglecting to teach you. They're not blowing the trumpet in the city.
That's right.
The man of the Lord is up here to blow the trumpet in the city.
That's right.
We're here to let you know that you're the best people on God's green earth.
That's right.
We're here to tell you to put down the blunts. Stop selling crack to your people.
That's right.
We're here to tell you to stop turning your sisters into whores.
That's
and that
right.
your sister is a princess. We're here to tell you to make your sisters and your daughters just mothers. We are here to do those things.
That's
And
right.
it's hard time, and it's time that you wake up.
Neither my praise to graven images.
So you need to stop giving your praise to these graven images. Because guess what? Each one of these holidays, they represent a graven image. You can choose one. Even Martin Luther King Day. If you celebrate Martin Luther King Day, guess what? Martin Luther King is your graven image. America has taught you to idolize Martin Luther King.
That's
In
right.
his dream. And to hold hands with white people. And hold hands with the Chinese man. And guess what? They ain't doing nothing but exploit you in your neighborhood. They come to your neighborhood in the daytime, and guess what? They ain't here to make money off of you and take it back to their community.
That's
They ain't
right.
gonna put $1 in your community for funding. They ain't gonna buy your kids coats. They ain't gonna put no food in your refrigerator. And if you're one of these Arabs, too, if you're a penny short, they won't even let you go with the product. Some of them put the Quran behind their back, and they'll sell you a pack of cigarettes and a slice of pork pepperoni pizza. So it's time to wake up. It's time to love your neighbor as yourself, and your neighbor is the children of your people.
That's right.
It's time to go back and get in this word and find out where King Jew come from.
That's
and what
right.
you are.
That's right.
That's right.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2.
Bring it out.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Not follow the multitude to celebrate New Year's in the middle of winter.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
No, follow the multitude to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
No, celebrate Mother's Day when it come up.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
So the Most High said you should not follow a multitude to do evil. Because when you celebrate these holidays, you in the midst of wickedness, follow behind everybody else, because guess what? Everybody else is doing it. It's an old saying they say, if such and such jump off a bridge, are you going to do it? Hell no, you ain't going to do it. But guess what? When you celebrate these holidays, you jump off the bridge right with the rest of the world.
That's right.
Two-thirds of the people is going to perish.
That's
So it's
right.
time for you to bethink yourself, wake up, and go back to these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
So we out here, and we're not going to decline, and we're going to budge from the Most High's words.
That's right.
It's time to give you the judgment, because guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai going to come back, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, and he going to give you a judgment with a sword.
That's
He
right.
going to blaze this earth with fire.
That's
and
right.
Thermonuclear destruction.
That's
And
right.
guess what? It's coming. It's coming if you don't repent.
That's
The
right.
Most High hates you when you in your sin, and you don't even realize.
That's right.
You making the Most High hate your children when you teach them these holidays. Give me Exodus 20. It's time to wake up and put aside these holidays. It's time to raise up young men in your community as men and teach them not to be effeminate by toting guns and selling drugs to their people.
That's right.
In the neighborhood.
That's right. The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So the Most High said you shall not put any other God before him.
That's right.
But guess what? When you celebrate these holidays, you put all these gods before the Most High.
That's right. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Well, guess what? Some of y'all just had a graven image in your house in the form of a Christmas tree. Some of y'all just bowed down in front of a ball that counted down to New Year's in the middle of winter that fell from a tower. And guess what? That was your graven image that bring your pagan New Year to the false god chants. Some of y'all about to bow down and go buy some chocolate hearts because you ain't going to be able to lay with your woman at night on February 14th. And guess what? Cupid is your graven image. On Mother's Day, you about to bow down to Semiramis, the Queen Mother of Heaven, and buy your mother some Mother's Day cards as a graven image. Well, guess what? You bow down to a graven image.
That's right. Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy power, am a jealous power.
So when you celebrate these holidays, guess what? You're making the Most High jealous, and you provoking him, and he is going to destroy you.
That's right.
Book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4.
Bring it out.
For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
No, the gods are equal.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
No, the Most High love these gods.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
So all these other gods in the other nations are idols. So when you celebrating all these holidays, guess what? You giving praise to all these other gods.
That's right.
And you making the Most High angry. And he is worthy to be praised alone. He's not going to share his throne with none of these gods. He wants you to tear these down. Give me Jeremiah. It's time to wake up. It's time to come out of the midst of your sin and stop being trapped up in these holidays and being trapped up all in your emotions because you worry about what somebody else think about you because you're excluding yourself from folly.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. For I am the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate.
So the Most High said, if you teaching your children these things, He gonna visit this iniquity upon your children to the third generation, and that you making your children hate Him. And you don't want your children to hate the Most High. You want the Most High to come back and avenge your children.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 2. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard.
And that's what we out here right now to do. We're declaring this amongst the nations, and we publishing and declaring a standard.
That's
the
right.
standard is this Bible. The standard is Yahweh Shai, who is a black man just like you. Not a white Caesar bush head, not none of these false gods. We publish and declare the standard.
That's right.
Publish and conceal not.
Don't hide your beliefs.
Publish and conceal not.
Don't hide the truth of the Bible.
Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken.
So Babylon is about to fall. And that's what we're about to show you. It's about to be taken by the sword of Yahweh Shai.
Baal is confounded.
Come on.
Murdoch is broken in pieces.
So Murdoch and Baal is all these false idols. And guess what? They're about to be shattered to pieces just like these false gods in Babylon the Great.
That's right.
It's time to wake up, Wilmington, Delaware.
That's right.
It's time to put down the pistol. Wilmington, Delaware, one of the smallest cities in the United States of America. But yet, y'all got the #1 murder cap for teenagers between the age of 13 to 18. Somebody gets shot here every 12 hours. It's time to wake up. It's time to go back to the majesty that you are as kings. It's time for you to treat your brother and love your brother like you love yourself. And stop being in folly. And stop selling drugs to each other. Stop being fools. Stop smoking 50 million blunts and hanging out in front of the liquor store. And giving the Chinese man your money for some pork fried rice and some oyster sauce.
Come on, bring it out. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8.
Come on.
Beware lest any man spoil you through vain philosophy and vain deceit.
So pointless philosophy and vain deceit is something that don't even matter. So all these philosophies out in the world, it don't even matter. Islam don't matter.
That's right.
More science don't matter.
That's right.
5% nation don't matter.
That's right.
Buddhism don't matter. Why you in Buddhism for?
God.
Why you turning to Buddhism for?
God.
You praying to a fat Asian man.
God.
What type of sense do that make?
God. After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua.
So don't spoil yourself after the rudiments of the world. It's time for you to turn back to Yahushua, who the one intimately calls Jesus Christ, and follow his ways.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Don't take on the oppressor's ways.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Don't take the oppressor's vaccination.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Don't take on the oppressor's holidays.
And choose none of his ways.
Don't choose some of his ways.
And choose none of his ways.
So the Most High said, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. It's high time, Israel. But guess what? Your pastor didn't teach you these things. He taught you to come into church and be as you are, and you can be happy as a lesbian, as a homosexual, and all you got to do is come into church and sing on the choir, and everything is all right. Give me Psalms 5 and 5. He didn't taught you it's all right to come and worship on Sunday and don't even keep the Sabbath. He done taught you that the Most High hate the sin and love the sinner.
Woo!
Which is folly. It's all folly. Psalms 5 and 5. It's time to wake up.
All right, Psalms 5 and 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
So when you in your iniquity, the Most High said you were foolish. And guess what? He hates you. And it's time to go back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. But you don't realize it because you are in folly. You are being foolish. You are in this captivity because you are being punished. You are being downtrodden by the white man because guess what? You don't love yourself. Black man, it's time for you to love yourself. Black woman, it's time for you to love yourself. It's time to come out of the whoredoms of the world. It's time to wake up. It's time for you to repent. My name is Brother Yakanan, and that's my time. Progress Shirala.
Progress Shirala.
Progress Shirala.
Progress Shirala.
Progress Shirala.
Progress Shirala.
Show me how we shine.
Sing it on the side.